All right, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about how production potentially could be down for Tesla. And of course, we're talking about Giga, Texas, Austin, and how they potentially might be down 20,000 units this first quarter from what was essentially predicted before. We'll take a look at some speculation from Troy Tesla, of course, to see this might be the reason why your estimated delivery date is getting pushed to next month or even quarter two, like April, May, or even June. So we'll definitely talk about as well as a bunch of other topics regarding the Tesla market, like the increasing cost of Tesla supercharging, a potentially new Tesla killer that has just arrived, and also we'll talk about just general like how to actually get approved for a loan, an auto loan for your Tesla vehicle or really any vehicle, and kind of my general tips and what to look out for from that. But before we do that, let's run that intro real quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on your Tesla at the best possible price, or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can get access to my best buying guide, which has all the great credit union rates, interest rates, and financing rates that are all better than Tesla. Tesla's at like 5.59%. So definitely check it out. And shout out to my latest Patreon members. We got RK and Jordan. Thank you for joining the Patreon. Thank you for supporting, and let us get into it. So something's going on in the market right now for Tesla. There seems to be a good amount of Model Ys that seem to be creeping up and up every single day. We saw this the other day, that's for sure, on the Tesla Waiting for Tesla site. You can see there is at least 120 Tesla Model Ys posted for sale on Tesla's websites. And this is what we know. We know that Tesla manipulates inventory a little bit, so there could be a lot more that's actually available. And sorting down by trim, you can see that there's 90 Model Y long ranges, 20 all-wheel drive versions, and also 10 performance ones. So definitely pretty interesting stuff. But the thing with this is that a good amount of them are, of course, 7-seater versions. These are 88 of them versus 32 5-seat versions. So if you're in the market, check out some of our EDD estimated delivery hacks that we have on the channel, and potentially see it might be worth trying to switch to see if you can try and take delivery on one of these, or even switch to induction rims, or maybe even switch to performance. But of course, shout out to Troy Tesla. This is where the headline comes from. This is where the thumbnail and title comes from, because he just posted his Q1 2023 delivery estimates, where as follows on March 7th. My estimate is 409, or quote, my estimate is 409,000 units, down from 412,000 on February 28th, only 15 days ago. And taking a look at the numbers here, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So you can see we've got the Fremont factory pumping out the Model S, X, 3, and Y. So pretty strong still on this part, right? We got 53,000 for Model 3 and almost 56,000 for the Model Y. But taking a look at Texas Model Y, we've only got 45,464. And this is why, the reason why I say only is because if we took a look at Troy Tesla's tweet from March 7th, so only a week ago, he was predicting 62,600 deliveries, productions from Texas Giga Austin. So what happened? How did we lose almost 20,000 units in basically a week to 2 weeks? And what is going on? Is this why people are getting their estimated delivery dates pushed? Is this why your estimated delivery is now showing potentially an April, May, or June? Or is it something else? I mean, we did this poll almost a day ago at this point. Did your EDD or estimated delivery just get pushed? And an overwhelming 23% said, yep, now April to May. Of course, it is the end of the month. It's the end of the quarter. And so Tesla always likes to try and push deliveries ASAP. And so if you got pushed, you might potentially, and my guess is you're probably in like the East Coast, Florida, maybe even Central America, and Tesla's basically deciding that they don't actually have enough logistical time to ship your vehicle to where you're at, and so they're deciding to just try and ship it and switch it to California, Texas, Nevada, Arizona, all these other different places that are a lot closer to the California areas. And it's really interesting. I mean, it seems like maybe even a different EDD hack. I mean, we talk about a few different EDD hacks, and one of them, or estimated delivery date hacks, is changing to induction rims or changing to in performance. But what if there's a third EDD hack amongst the other recommendations that we do? And that EDD hack is changing to 7-seater. I know 7-seater is probably not the most optimum, especially because it is what, a almost $4,000 price increase, or maybe even $3,000, because at one point it was a $3,000 option, but then they changed it to $4,000. So you can see right here, $4,000. But it seems like there's a good, healthy amount of Model Y 7-seaters that might be actually available. And so the question that you have to ask yourself is like, yes, the tax credit, this $7,500 federal tax credit is still around, and every day that passes, it seems like it's going to be around a lot longer, till especially to the end of March, maybe even March 31st. And on top of that, it does seem like there might be a 30 to 60 day transitionary period as well. And so, but at the end of the day, if you don't believe any of that, if you don't want to take any sort of risk, an EDD hack to bump up your delivery might possibly the best one. If the induction rims doesn't work for you, potentially switching to a 7-seater configuration. Yes, it's $4,000 more, but you're locking in a $7,500 tax credit. I'm not saying you should do this. I mean, it's still, I don't know if I could justify 7 seats for a Tesla Model Y, because it certainly is very, very tight in the back seat with a 7-seat, almost potentially not even worth it because of how tight it is. But it might be able to get you bumped up earlier. And you still gotta think, like, even if we look at the Tesla price history charts, like, even if you pay $58,000 with a 7-seat, the good thing there is, like, you're gonna have a very rare car, maybe even more in demand than basic Model Ys, long ranges, all-wheel drives, and whatever the case is. And the thing is, you're still, like, even if you're paying $59,000, you're still paying a lot lower than what a lot of people paid all last year when the Model Y long range started at $63,000, $66,000. You're arguably getting more value, but maybe this was like an inflated value last year, because I certainly did not agree that the Model Y should have been a $66,000 car last year. But still, a lot of people paid that. So definitely, I'm probably giving you some things to think about on whether you should switch to a 7-seater. But, definitely some pretty interesting stuff. So we're going to jump into our next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link where you can support the channel. And there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you actually get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the credit unions and banks that all have interest rates lower than Tesla financing. So you don't have to use Tesla's financing. And the best one on the list right now that anybody can join is 3.5% all the way up to 60 months, and 3.99 for 72 months. So definitely check it out if you're interested. There's other ones on there that are in the 2.5 to 2.99, but a little bit harder to join. So definitely check it out if you want to support the channel. Patreon link, or actually the YouTube join button if you want to support in a different way. Water break. Check out the water break cup. I don't know, where's this from actually? Disney's dinosaur? If you're just joining in, welcome. Troy Teslike is predicting 20,000 units down from Texas Giga Austin. That was supposed to at one point people were estimating that Giga Austin would actually produce almost 75,000 vehicles in the first quarter. But taking a look at this, I don't think we're going to get there until potentially later this year. maybe even quarter four, quarter three he's predicting Giga Austin to produce 70,000 units, and then quarter four 82,000 units at the end of the year. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. So we're gonna run through some topics here, and let me know what your thoughts on some of these are. And of course, if you're just joining in, if you're joining into the live stream, you know, I will answer all the questions that are being posted out there. And so, that's the benefit of the live stream. You can come in and ask anything you want about buying a Tesla, and then we will get to it. So a little bit of a PSA, but it looks like Tesla supercharging is increasing in price across the country. This was a surprise to me because I feel like I've seen this, at least in California. It exists at the varying supercharging rates by hour in California, depending on what time you actually arrive. But it looks like Tesla is going to start to roll this out to a lot of the other supercharger locations in the United States. So if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best price or just really good financing. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. So let us take a look at this. Shout out to United Soup on Reddit. Posted this by Tesla North. Here's the actual article. And it seems like Tesla is expanding supercharger pricing, now varying by hours of the day. This has actually been in California for a bit. I feel like I've shown screenshots on the channel because I like to really hit home with the point that Tesla supercharging is not that cheap. If it is your only source of charging, you can easily spend $20 to $30 every single time you go to the supercharger, and it's probably about the same cost as maybe driving like a hybrid car. So like if you have like a Model 3, then you're going to spend about as much money as driving like a Toyota Camry hybrid. It's about that efficient. So if you use it on your daily use like that, I'm not sure if it'd be recommended. But taking a look at the article, it says the prices are showing as follows per kilowatt. So 4 to 8 a.m., 35 cents. That's actually really expensive for 4 to 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., 39 cents, and 12 a.m. to 4 a.m., which is what, like the worst possible time or the latest possible time? Actually, that's actually the best time because there's probably a lot of people driving from whether they're at the work or, out at night, and they only would have to pay 14 cents per kilowatt. So you can see it almost doubles from 14 to 35 to 39 cents. And this has certainly been the case already in California. And so it looks like Tesla is just rolling this out to a lot of other places across the country. And so, just really a PSA. I mean, if you are buying a Tesla right now, if you have a pending order, I would certainly push you to try and figure out some sort of home charging setup or even a level 2 charging setup. Here is a great app that I recommend to everybody. It's called PlugShare. It's also a phone app as well. And you can actually see from this app like free level 2 superchargers around you, maybe even potentially free level 3 superchargers around you. You can use that as a trip planner. And you can see there are good options out there, maybe near your work, or maybe if you're home, like you got to buy, like you can plug it like, 5 minutes away and then ride a scooter back home or something like that, like a push scooter. I certainly thought of that, but there are ways if you're willing to put the effort and commit to the time. There are level 2 the level 2 chargers out there. That's for sure. But this is not necessarily a surprise to me, I would say, but definitely a PSA that Tesla is going to expand their varying supercharger rates. And I don't know, I would say this has got to be a warning because, I feel like one day electricity might get to the levels of what gas prices are if they haven't already getting there. And so, just definitely be aware of that. That's for sure. But we're going to jump into the live stream comments. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below the description is the Patreon link. So definitely check it out if you are interested. All right, welcome. If you're just joining in, seems like there's a healthy amount of Tesla Model Ys available, and Troy Teslike is predicting 20,000 units less than what he was predicting before for Texas Giga Austin Model Ys. So this certainly could explain why Tesla has been pushing EDDs, pushing estimated delivery dates to next quarter, next April, May, June. But we can only guess at this point. I just placed my order for a Model 3 Performance. If it doesn't come by March, I cancel. But what if the tax credit gets pushed? What if it gets a 30-day, 60-day rollout? Must be all the people that ordered a 7-seater before they changed EV tax guidelines, and they all changed their order. It is what it is. That is a very great point because, yeah, you're right. At one point, there was a lot of at one point, the IRS only classified the 7-seater Model Y long range for the tax credit. And I bet once they open it up, everybody just decided, I'm going to change my order at the end of the day. Or maybe Tesla wasn't predicting that the IRS was going to change it. And so they had a lot of backed up queue at the end of the day. March 21st to 31st delivery window, ordered 123. Okay, nice. Coming up. Hopefully you got your Eli. Hopefully you got your financing and everything squared away at the end of the day. There's no 17 with 19, so it's not 4K, it's 6K. Oh, also a good observation. So it seems to be all the 7-seaters also have induction rims. That's pretty interesting. So it's $6,000. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you could take delivery of these induction rims and then trade it for Geminis and maybe pocket a little bit, but it might be a little bit of work. I would switch to Model Y long range to performance to get a March 27th. Yeah, certainly try it. Switch to inductions, try that. Switch to performance, maybe try that. You never know. Is it for sure water in that cup? Yes, 100%. CE user, good evening, Dennis. Good evening, CE user. Thanks for coming in. Supercharging expensive, still a small price difference when comparing to current gas prices in California. Hardly saving anything. Yes, $20 to $30 indeed every single time. Yeah, supercharging is not cheap. It is not cheap, especially in California. Does Corgi-san drive a Tesla too? Yes. Well, drives my Tesla. We only have one car. When do you think we'll have the updated Model 3? We've heard it all. Retooling Tesla has done in the past couple of weeks at Fremont. I would say quarter 4 this year, maybe even next year, January. In January. Prius 2 refill comparing the same distance is about $11. Yeah, exactly. So if you've got a really high efficiency vehicle like a Prius that does 50, 60 miles per gallon, yeah, it could easily make a lot of sense unless gas prices, see user, go back up to what they were, like $5, $6, $7, which we'll see, right? Summer's coming up, summer travel, gas could easily go back up, and that'll be good for Tesla because a lot of people, just like last year, they started to flock to electric cars because of the gas prices. So half the price difference, but you have to factor in other maintenance costs of the hybrid. Yeah, 100%. That is if the person came from a hybrid, like he said. I came from an SUV, and many other people's have. I'm saving hundreds of dollars in gas alone, plus maintenance and insurance less. Yeah, 100%. $20 to $30 recharge a supercharger, while $11 on a Prius refuel. Who wants to drive a Prius? Yeah, very good point. But the new one, Happy Hippo, the new Prius actually looks pretty nice. We're starting to see these on the road, of course. They are nice little hot sedan hatches, as I would say. And starting at $27,000, which is what, over $10,000 less than a Model 3, plus 50 to 60 miles per gallon. I mean, it's going to be very interesting once gas prices go back up and we start to, and potentially the Model 3 price might go down. It'll be very interesting to see like the Prius versus Model 3 comparison and to really hit them dollar for dollar, compare them to see which one it makes the most sense at the end of the day. And on top of that, there is a plug-in Prius that's coming. I mean, we don't know what price that might be. Maybe that would probably be dollar for dollar the same as a Model 3. But, it is certainly coming. And, we are Tesla fans on the channel. I've had a Model 3, Model Y, S, and X. But at the same time, I am also a wallet fan, like my wallet fan. I want to do what's best to save as much money as possible. Funny, I picked up my car from Andre, and I was used to the latest model Prius, and I was surprised by the amount of money I saved on that one. Real word facts. It's a good car. Yeah, exactly. I ordered Model Y Performance on 2.3, EDD 315, 329. All right, buy some of the how to VIN. Ooh, yeah, cruising. That should be coming up soon. Hopefully soon. Hopefully you got your financing squared away, but actually you can't because you don't have the VIN yet, right? Ooh. How many miles did you guys have on a new Model Y Performance? Mine is listing 15 miles. Is that normal, or did the vehicle need to go to factory for repairs? It's basically normal Backus world. It can get anywhere from 15 to like 80 miles. I would say that's normal. Nothing wrong with it, other than somewhere in the future we will need to have to change the EV battery. Yes, 100%. Toyotas are a great car, but Prius is slow. Yeah, especially I watched like the Doug DeMuro review on the Prius, and he definitely said it was a little slow, but the plug-in might be a little bit faster. Not fun to drive. I would never buy a Prius, but good luck to you and your Prius. Exactly. Hi, Dennis. Why make a bunch of Model Y7s instead of processing our January orders? Yeah, great question, Crusher. And someone actually came in here. I totally forgot who actually put in that great knowledge. I guess I can scroll up about, or it is what it is. I actually said that, potentially it was a bunch of people that ordered the Model Y 7-seater when it qualified for the IRS tax credit. And now that it doesn't, everybody switched to a 5-seater, or most people switch to a 5-seater. So that's potentially a really great reason on why there is a lot of 7-seaters instead of 5-seaters. I still debate, is the lack of the USS worth the $7,500 tax credit? It's a great question, because what? Let's take a quick look at 2022 Tesla Model Ys. If you can get a 2022 Tesla Model Y for what, $45,000, $40,000, and essentially not have to deal with the tax credit. But I mean, that's the question, right? Can you actually see? This is too close for me, because what, a brand new one, 53, 54 plus the destination fee, 55. Then you minus the tax credit that you get next year, 48. I don't know. I mean, yes, if you're someone that does not qualify for the tax credit, then yes, this would make 100%, 90% make sense to me. But this doesn't make sense to me. This definitely doesn't make sense to me. 52, 53. I mean, you might as well just try and get a new one then, like for a couple $1,000s more. But there seems to be a good amount of them in this 50 to 55,000 range. This one seems like a good deal. 55,000, because that's a Model Y Performance. If you don't qualify for the tax credit, maybe offer them 50 and call it a day, 10% less than the, what it used to be valued at, and you get the USS sensors. That could be a good deal. But of course, my always thing for used cars, always try and offer a little bit higher than wholesale and try and get a deal. Hey, you know what's so weird about all the Model Y7 is that I ordered one in January, Model 7 gray Gemini rims, still no VIN or anything. Well, Vlad, you should definitely try one of the EDD hacks. Maybe try and see if there's one near you and just switch your configuration to whatever that one is near you. And yeah, because seriously, who wants to drive a Prius? Cut it out. LOL. I mean, I think it looks nice, but yep, wallet fan, exactly. I had 84 miles on my new Model Y. Yeah, finally got an updated EDD March 25th to 31st. Told me the car is on a truck. Will be at the dealer on the 21st. Yeah, and certainly be aware there is processing time. So if it hits the dealer on the 21st, so that's why they're saying the 25th, but try and stay on top of them. And they do what's essentially a pre-delivery inspection, and they make sure everything is good with the car, wash it and all that stuff. So just be wary of that, the tight time frames. And Lucas coming up with a great knowledge there. And this is our next topic. Thank you to Lucas for pointing this out. But we're going to talk about the new Tesla killer, or potentially Tesla killer, that has just been announced and released. And of course, that is the Kia, a product from Kia that is coming actually out. And I've been watching this one for at least a year now, because I saw it at the auto show. It looked very, very big, beefy, and nice. And if this actually comes out, if this really comes out at a certain price point, it could essentially be a Tesla killer. I'm not sure if it's going to be a Tesla Model Y killer or if it will be a Tesla Model X killer. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. And I want to hear what your guys' thoughts on it, because I think it looks fantastic. I definitely have always thought it looked really good, but we will definitely talk about it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best price. So definitely hit that subscribe if you are interested. So let us get into this. Shout out to Sorry Mara, and thank you to Lucas Lang for bringing up this talk about the EV9. But let me know what you guys think on this, because I personally think it looks fantastic. So shout out to Sorry Merit. Kia has officially unveiled the production 2024 Kia EV9, an all-electric third row SUV. Specs were revealed by early April, so just like another month from now. And Kia says it will be on sale at the very end of 2023. I mean, I can imagine how deposits are coming down to the Kia line, the KN line, right? I don't know if you've heard of that, guys, because Kia redesigned their logo, everybody thought, or a lot of people thought that, or confused it with KN. And so Google searches went up on Google Trends for the term KN automaker, but that's besides the point. But let's rewind the history clocks just a little bit for when this car actually was released or announced, like what, 2 years ago at this point? And this is what it looked at. This is what they brought out to the concept show in Los Angeles. And I think this looks pretty nice. I mean, it's massive. It was very big. It's bigger than a Model X, I would say. It rides higher than a Model X, and it was very, very spacious. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure it had like a couch in the back. Of course, it probably won't come out with that when it actually comes out, but these are certainly just concept videos. But to go from this and then to go actually to this, I mean, they didn't really deviate from concept photos at all. So shout out to Kia. I mean, I don't know if I would actually ever own one or buy one, but competition is good. Competition is healthy. We're certainly Tesla fans on this channel. I've had the Model 3, the Model Y, S, and now the X. Would I sell the X to get a Kia? I don't know, because I don't think I would be able to get a good deal on a Kia, because Kia will probably want $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 markups on this thing. I mean, we know for sure they will, because way back when the Telluride came out a couple of years ago, there was easily markups on that vehicle, and off the bat, like 20, 30K markups. So Kia dealers, I guess they just like doing that to their customers. To the customers. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff coming out of the world of Kia. And is this a Tesla killer, a Model X killer? I think it does look a little bit smaller in these pictures than the concept one, but we will certainly see. Is it a true third row? Is it actually spacious back there? And also the specs on this, like, it'd be very interesting to see if this comes out. I mean, if this comes out for like $55,000, which it most likely won't, but if this comes out for $55,000, like basically the exact price of a Model Y, that would be pretty interesting. And I don't know about you guys, but I actually like this type of screen. I mean, I don't know if I've never owned a vehicle with that type of screen, but I kind of like the style of it having across the center and the driver's viewpoint. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff coming out of Kia, and competition's good at the end of the day. Kia competition coming from other automakers and pushing Tesla to enhance their vehicles, make them a lot updated. But actually, let's see. So Car and Driver is speculating that the vehicle, this EV9, will actually come in around $50,000 to $70,000. So this is good, because if Kia comes out with the EV9 at what, $70,000, or even a 55, a base one at 50 and a loaded one at 70, and it's a true third row, that might actually push, Tesla to maybe potentially lower their Model X down to the 70, 80K where it once was a while ago. I mean, taking a look at this, the old previous Model X was a $79,000 one. So competition's good. And so we will certainly see. But let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking about the Kia EV9. Of course, I like the idea. I don't know if I would actually own it, but I certainly like the look of the new Kia EV9. Kia is certainly bringing a lot of good designs coming out, I would say. And then also on top of that, Hyundai is probably going to come out with their variant. Genesis probably coming out with their variant as well in the next, whichever. But I'm not sure I would actually buy it. But we're going to jump into our next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description, there's a Patreon link where you can support the channel, and there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me. You can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible price, including access to my buying guide, which has links to all, exactly, yeah. Including credit union lists, credit unions and banks on a list of interest rates as low as 3.5 to 4% from 60 to 80 months. So definitely check that out if you're interested. Water break. If you're just joining in, welcome. Tesla production for the Model Y from Giga Austin certainly seems to have gone down, at least prediction from Troy Tesla. This was a Troy Tesla prediction for the Giga Austin Model Y from March 7th at 62,000 units right here, 62.5. And today he just released another prediction at 45,000 units for Giga Austin, just only a week or two later. And so is this why your Tesla estimated delivery date just got pushed? Is this why they potentially can't fulfill any or pushing to fulfill orders? And which is weird because there's a good healthy amount of Tesla Model Ys in inventory, maybe not in your area, but we also discovered that maybe a potentially good estimated delivery hack to bump up your order is potentially switching to a 7-seater version, because there's 88 7-seaters actually available out there in the US. And so of course 7-seater is a $4,000 option. Like, I'm not sure if it actually could make sense to actually pencil, but if you are worried about the Tesla tax credit or the IRS Treasury tax credit, the $7,500 federal tax credit, it might be worth it. But the last thing we heard probably is that it'll get pushed to March 31st for an announcement, and it might actually have some sort of 30 to 60 day rollout, but nothing concrete yet. Tesla did update us on the wording on their website yesterday for some reason, maybe just to add more clarity that it's no later than March 31st, and that it must be, the D word for delivery. You must take delivery by this date or when they announce it, but definitely some pretty interesting stuff. So in this next topic, a new Tesla supercharger is starting to get spotted, and it is going to be a V4 Tesla supercharger. We'll talk about where it's actually spotting. There is a US location, at least speculated or rumored. And what does V4 even actually mean? Is it, we know it must be faster, or hopefully it's faster, but we'll definitely take a look at it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best possible price. So definitely hit that subscribe if you are interested. Also with really good financing. But let us get into this. Shout out to Tesla Roddy posting this. Tesla first VR supercharging spotted in Europe, and they're being spotted. So it looks like there's a team. They've gated it all completely. Oh, look at that. There's a Polestar right there in the back next to a Tesla Model Y with the Model S to the side of it. And the V4 superchargers are being installed. So there's also other projects that potentially might be in Massachusetts. And there's another article that I'll show you in a second where Arizona also might be another location. But the chargers will support a 1000 volt architecture for increased charging speeds. But I guess the key word I'm looking for is a lot of these other industry vehicles out there, especially the Kias that we just talked about, the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and the Kia EV6, if I'm not mistaken, or EV5, whatever, EV9, it can actually go up to 350 kilowatt speeds. But the Tesla superchargers, at least the ones in California that I go to, and I'm pretty sure all over the United States, can only go to 250 kilowatts. I mean, going essentially from 250 kilowatts to 350 kilowatts, I mean, you're not really going to save that much time. You might save like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, I believe. But I mean, We'll certainly see, but it looks like the V4 really stands for the longer cable or the little bit adjusted cable for a Cybertruck and other EVs. Well, we actually know. So it says right here, V4 stalls will be still set at 250 kilowatts, but they'll probably have the new Magic dock that can do with the CCS and all that stuff. So although Tesla is now installing Magic dock superchargers in the US and that enable other EVs to charge, the rollout is extremely young, and with the first installations coming this week. So it looks like V4 isn't even that either. So V4 might just be a different architecture with the 1000 volt architecture, and that's really about it. So it looks like charging speeds and longer cables that will support other vehicles in the Europe and also America, because this article from Teslarati as well, Tesla solar powered V4 supercharger coming to Arizona, but this seems to be an article from 2022, and it seems like a more speculation on this as well. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. I definitely want to see a 350 kilowatt supercharger coming out, but I guess we'll just have to still wait and see at this moment. So we're going to jump into the live stream comments and answer all of your questions. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link, so definitely check it out if you're interested down below in the description. The other thing I wanted to check is Model 3 discounts. It seems like Tesla hasn't discounted them yet. All these demo vehicles are still available. There's only 6 though, but they're all red, which is kind of funny. Got the Model Y long range at the Fremont factory last Saturday and found that it's a standard that they put 15 miles on all Teslas when they entered the info. Only had 5.5 miles due to them running tests. Oh, interesting. I actually didn't know that. Learned something new. Thanks for dropping that in, Blue Sky. I guess that makes sense because they got to run like some sort of test at the end of the day. Filing on my VIN a few days ago, EDD 321 to 329. Model Y, do you think they'll push back the delivery even though I secured the VIN? No, I think you actually should be perfectly fine. Put the Prius on power and accelerates faster than most ICE cars. Love it. Yeah, and also the Prius plug-in battery will also be a lot faster. At what stage Tesla shares the VIN? When this car on the truck, or even before that? It could be at any moment. Actually, I think it's really when they decide they're actually going to lock down and give you the vehicle. A little nervous, but hopefully they move it up. PS location SoCal. Yeah, I mean SoCal, you should be perfectly fine and you should be able to get it by the end of this month. Also, do you recommend putting a lot of money down, or do you think putting next to nothing down and refi? That's a great question, D Hong. And that's going to be our last topic today. Let me run through a bunch of these live stream comments, and then we'll talk about basically how to get approved for a Tesla auto loan. And we'll talk about it in a perspective of new auto loan buyers. And maybe we'll talk about the perspective of other people that have already had auto loans and what the market is at the moment. Because spoiler alert, banks are raising their interest rates, and on top of that, they're tightening their loan process. So I think my past loan, they asked for more documents than I've ever sent, and it's just seems to be what's going on in the environment. I'm in SoCal. I haven't seen one near me. Talking about the superchargers, parking with no frontal and bird's eye view camera, no ultra sensors in front or back sucks. Yeah, I mean, we purchased a 2022 Tesla Model X used. It was slightly used with 150 miles on it, and I'm not sure if I could do a new one, unless it was like the red one. That red is definitely very, very nice looking. Why? I guess I need to see it in person. Pick up my wife's Model Y long range in Irvine in 2 days. Your Patreon's a big help. No, thank you, Jimmy. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for dropping that. And thanks for hitting the like button and support. Congrats to you and your wife's new Model Y. Enjoy it in good health. And hopefully everything goes well with the delivery process, because it's a good and it's an exciting experience. And if you're listening, if you're watching, everybody else, check out my Patreon link down below. You can get access to my buying guide, which has links to all the best interest rates in banks out there that are all better than Tesla's financing. Because actually, let's just check, because we haven't checked it today. Tesla financing is still 5.59%, which is it's up there. The new Prius does look nice. Yeah, I think they did a great job with the redesign, and I'm starting to see them more and more on the roads these days. Definitely, I think it looks smaller than the previous one, but I mean, that's just my eyes. When Tesla assigned the VIN, maybe like a week or two before your estimated delivery date, is adding ultra sensors an option, Dennis? Any recommendations? I don't think so. I don't think there's any sort of retrofit, which kind of sucks. Aren't they going to disable USS when Vision comes out? Yes. Yeah, they already have taken it out, so I don't think USS is coming back at this point. 84 months on a Model Y. You should have gone for a new one. Kidding? Oh, kidding. Got it. Gotcha. Full self-driving unavailable when it's raining. It reverts back to adaptive cruise control. Yes. Well, full self-driving. Actually, I don't know. I haven't tried that. But yeah. Any reason that the Model Y Performance doesn't have the option for 7-seat? Any news on adding track mode on Model Y Long Range if you buy the acceleration boost? I know a tease on that. I don't think, yeah, no news on that for track mode for Model Y, but you can do the acceleration boost. But at that point, if you're planning to do that, you might as well just get the Model Y Performance at that point, because if you add the acceleration boost, that's $2,000. You add the induction room, that's another $2,000. You're basically at the price of a Model Y Performance. Wow, the EV9 looks awesome. Yeah, it definitely looks awesome. And the funny thing is, even if they come out with the EV9 at what, $50,000, Kia dealers will be Kia dealers, and they will mark up that vehicle to the sky as much as they can, and it will probably be like $100,000 Kia at the end of the day. So even if Kia tries to do their best effort to come out at a decent price, it will still be high. It's a Kia Hyundai, no thanks, but it's a Kia. Exactly. I don't know if I would own one, but I will give props to the design of it. Just reserve a used Model Y Long Range. Red, full self-driving, nice. From Tesla with $35,000, $45,000 USD. Unfortunately, Model Y does not qualify for the EV rebate in Canada. $45,000, that doesn't seem that bad actually. That sounds like a good deal, especially because it has a full self-driving. The front looks like a Range Rover, and the back looks like a Volvo SUV. No Kia for me, thank you. Again, it looks nice. I don't know if I would actually buy it and own either, but but it's a Kia. Okay, so I guess we know the sense of it. We know maybe some of you like the design as well, but certainly I don't think any of us would own one at the end of the day. They built their reputation and got no one to blame but themselves. Exactly. EV9 is the way to go if my Model Y ends up with no credit. Oh, I see. You'll try and switch, but it's gonna be tough. I mean, we should do an exercise and just call Kia dealers around us, and they're probably already gonna want like 10, 20K markup at the end of the day. LOL, markup on a Kia. What have we come to? Yeah, it's a weird market at the end, and it still is. Sexy, exactly. My friend got the Kia Telluride a year ago, 10K markup. Yeah, I don't know if I could pay any markup at the end of the day, but I guess essentially, like, even though Teslas don't have markup, it's just like a higher price, but at least I guess it's just like going back to Tesla. Kias are good on police car chases. Other than that, good luck. Yeah, they seem to run forever. And like Kias, the old ones have issues with being broken into. So definitely tough. Kias are engine killers. I prefer the Model X though and its technology. Yeah, if it was dollar for dollar, I would never buy the Kia EV9. If it was like the same price, I would just go Model X 100% all day long. But what's funny is so it's raining in Los Angeles if you're in California, SoCal, and I went through a big puddle and the plastic trim on my Model X actually popped out. And I'll show you exactly. And this is a 2022 Tesla Model X with now like 1,800 miles on it. So this black piece popped out as I guess I drove through the puddle. I drove through the puddle and I heard it go like the whoop whoop noise. And of course I was just I'm like jaded by any sort of build quality issues from Tesla, so I was like, of course, it pops out when I go just drive over a puddle. So I just smacked it in and just kept driving after that. But it's just funny with Tesla and the build quality and all that stuff. And another funny story with the Model X with Tesla is, so we, as you guys know, we've been getting solar quotes out there, and this solar salesperson came on in and was trying to pitch us and on solar, and their quote came out to basically $20,000 more than everybody else's quote for the same size kilowatt system and all that stuff. And of course, then they go to the pitch of, We're a 25-year-old company. We back our installation. We're not going to disappear. We have tons of reviews and all that stuff. And I kind of put it back on. I was like, well, that's and she was like, or they were like, that's good peace of mind, $20,000. You don't want to go with these other companies because you don't want to be worrying. And I was like, well, that's a lot of peace of mind, $20,000. And then they put it back on me and they said, well, why did you buy that Tesla out there? You bought it for a specific reason. That's quality. And I just laughed at her because you all know my position on Tesla. It's not the luxury quality out there. It is not the best quality. And so I just said, it basically said to them, that's the first time anyone has said quality and Tesla in the same sentence. And I definitely did not buy this Tesla because of the quality of it. So I thought that was a fun story. But essentially, at the end of the day, their quote was considerably higher versus the other companies. Check out the relationship between insurance companies and those two brands. Yeah, I think that's why I'd probably never, ever. Well, also because I would never get a good deal on a Kia or a Hyundai. Dennis, the Kia dealers will add some sort of market value on top of the cars like they're doing right now. The one person I met at a level 2 charger got his Toyota EV for $15,000 more than MSRP. That's such a hard pill to swallow at the end of the day on any of these dealers that mark up like that, unless they're marking up with like adding some sort of protection plan. I mean, there's dealers out there now that will do paint protection film and or ceramic and or some sort of warranty like that. And so that can make sense because if you're already going to do it anyways, like you might as well just get it done more efficiently as long as they're not charging like more than you would pay at like 24K Shine. Shout out to Andre or OC Tint Solutions with paint protection film and tint in Anaheim. Better than Prius? No, I don't think so. Salute, Dennis. Appreciate the content. Thank you, if you have any style. Thanks for coming in. Buying Kias at those prices and throwing money away. Yeah, 100%. I've heard that many new car buyers, non-Tesla, that are buying with markups after being on the wait list, etc. Crazy. Yeah, it's tough. And I think there's still a lot of demand out there especially for hybrids, EVs, gas vehicles, maybe not as much, but is there still markups out there? Potentially. Is there discounts coming back? Also potentially as well. I saw the Volvo plug-in MSRP $61,000. No brainer to buy Tesla. Yeah, 100%. As long as you're okay with the expectation of the quality of a Tesla's not a luxury car at the end of the day, but is Volvo a luxury car? I've actually never been in a Volvo like XC90 or anything. I've been in a Polestar, but that's different. Pick up a Model 3 wheel-wheel drive Saturday, order 311, VIN assigned 312, received EDD 313, 2.19%, 36-month C credit union. Test finance approved in minutes. Since does not accept letter of draft, refinance $63 fee. Hey, 2.19, love it. And for 3 years, let us know what credit union that is. 36 years. I mean, there's got to be someone in the chat that is looking for a loan like that. My friend did not flinch at the 10K markup on her Kia Telluride. That's nuts. But when you want it, you want it. Should have watched YAA videos on YouTube. Aren't they not YAA anymore? I thought they're Car Edge. They're different, right? Good to hear these developments on Superchargers. I am worried about their pricing. Yeah, 100%. Pricing will go up and up and up. And that's why solar plus electric car probably makes the most sense at the end of the day. Our present savings aren't that great, and it needs to be disclosed on all potential buyers who haven't had charging at home. Yeah, I wish there was more talk about this. Like, no one is really addressing that. No one is trying to give and set the expectation for people out there that Tesla supercharging is not cheap. It's very expensive relative to, I guess, like home charging. And so like everybody that's on the fence of buying a Tesla or that is pending Tesla, I would explore you, or I would challenge you to go to your local Tesla supercharger and talk to the people that are charging there and ask them like, hey, how much is this one charging? I mean, you can easily calculate yourself. It's $20 to $30. And if you're driving 200 miles a week, that's $20 to $30 a week, which could be the same as gas depending on where you're at. Is the Model X practically a good option for a daily drive of 90 miles? Yeah, I would say so. I don't daily drive 90 miles, but when I do drive, it's 90 miles, and yeah, it's perfectly fine. I was saying I'm in SoCal about my order 120 gray on Gemini's. Delivery was March 21st, then moved to April. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I would maybe try some of the EDD hacks on the channel. Do you know if the lug nuts from the Ubers can be reused on the Gemini's? Am I just going to need a center cap and covers? Yeah, should be perfectly fine to use those. And welcome back, Kate. Dennis convinced me to buy a Tesla Model Y. Nice. Thank you, C user. Looks like autopilot went up price from 5,600, or am I forgetting? Enhanced autopilot, wasn't it always $6,000? I think so. I think so. Do you need to precondition before you drive home from work? I don't, but you definitely should precondition before going to a supercharger. I have a VIN assignment for a Model Y Performance. My financing lapsed beyond the 30 days, and now I'm being denied for approval. My delivery day is March 21st to 28th. Any advice? Are we talking Tesla financing or other financing? Kia rims are made by the gods. Yeah, decent design, that's for sure. Don't pay any markups, and then they'll have to drop them. Yeah, unfortunately, there's people out there that, when they want it, they gotta have it, and so that's why that's why dealers can still do it. I think if there's someone paying for it, someone is still gonna buy it. I ordered Model Y Performance EDD 363 hoping to get my VIN soon, but these comments have made me nervous. It'll be pushed back. I think at this point, if you're still locked in by the end of March, you should be fine. How do you like the Model X? Any issues? Yeah, it's perfectly fine. We've got it ceramic coated, we got it tinted, we got a PPF. It's a great daily driver. We've been driving it a good amount. No issues at all. What's the tip to maintain white leather in a Tesla? Should I get ceramic coated? Yes, 1000%. Get it ceramic coated, and do not wear blue jeans. Oh no, Dennis. Oh no, yeah. Tesla tax on solar. Yes. So are you not banned from Tesla Solar, Dennis? No. So I don't think so. That's a good point. I should just throw an order, but I don't think I'm going to do Tesla Solar, because even though they do have the best price or one of the better prices, I don't know if I could stomach a 9-month turnaround time. I even posted on one of the forums out there, like, hey, anybody that has done a Tesla Solar installation recently, how long was the turnaround time? And it seems like it takes 9 months no matter what, when there's plenty of companies in California that are telling you they'll do it in 60 to 90 days, which is at least half the time frame, or even a third. I don't know if I could wait 9 months for solar. The new Prius is longer, wider, and the Prime has 19-inch rims. Oh, okay, nice. Is it taller though? Tesla should give a break on solar if you buy one of the cars, like a bundle package. Yeah, 100%. I mean, but Tesla already has the best price, or one of the best prices. The only better prices is local companies like mom and pop installers. CVRPs, 2 names on the registration. Can the lower income claim the rebate? Only one person can apply anyways, right? Yeah, sure, try. Why not? It doesn't hurt to try, right? Mason ordered mine February 10th, got ordered 23rd to March 31st. Nice. I think that dealers are going to rule the day they burn other customers so bad with markups. Yeah, especially when these customers come back to try and trade in their vehicles. They're going to be really upside down. It's not going to be good. And then they're going to try and blame the dealer or whichever. Is there anywhere I can refinance a solar loan for less than 4%? Devesh, that's a great question. And I am on the hunt for the best solar loan. And it seems like the best is like 5.5. I can't seem to find anywhere less. There is a 3.95 for 84 months, but it's only in certain states. But yeah, you lose 10% when you drive off the lot. With markups, you're losing 25% right away, and it's a Kia. Yeah, 100%. It is what it is. I'm not sure I could stomach that either. Any gap insurance recommendations? Standalone? Actually, not. I'm not actually sure on standalone. I think you have to do it with your insurance and or the financing company. What is the subscription model? Subscription model for the Kia EV9 or the Tesla Supercharging? I do not have home charging. I have free charging at work, level 2 at grocery store and gym. I think it's cheaper than having home charger. You have to pay more. Yeah, that's exactly it. For a while, I had the same exact setup. I had free charging at work, free charging at the apartment, and life was great. Life was absolutely fine. But now, of course, we have a house, and I got to pay 20 cents a kilowatt, which can add up. It can definitely add up. And so that's why I'm trying to figure out how can we expand our solar system. How much do you plan to spend on solar panels? We actually talked about this yesterday. We made a video on, I had like 5 companies where I got quotes from, and it seems to be you're gonna pay anywhere from $2.50 a kilowatt, and the basic TLDR at least 15 to 25 grand on a solar system at the end of the day. Water break. Not even 200 miles if you have Sentry on all the time. Talking about Model X, my commute is about 100 miles a day, and I am not comfortable being able to charge at a supercharger every day. Yeah, you need to figure out a level 2 setup, but you can probably do that round trip easily. Yeah, because I go from LA to Irvine when I go out, and it's easily fine. But yeah, home charging setup. USA offers a better rate than LEM. I got an interest rate of 4%. Oh, I went through Navy Federal Credit Union. So I've heard that many people have told me that recently, and it is not Navy ship model. Navy Federal It is not 4%. I think you have an older locked-in rate, unless maybe I looked at the wrong thing. Let's look at it again. 4.54%, which is still better than Tesla financing right now, because Tesla financing is at 5.59%. But let's see, view all rates. This yeah, it's for 36 months, 72, 5%. So it's, I mean, saving 0.5% is really not, I don't think it's worth it. But if you have a great relationship with Navy Federal already, you've got all your bank and credit cards and everything already there, then I can see where it would make a lot of sense. Picking up Model Y performance on March 19th. Nice. 5 days from now. Congrats to you, Texas. Enjoy it. And hopefully you got your financing all squared away and ready to go. Do you know where you can find, do you know where we can find the 3.98 solar loan? Yes, but you have to live in certain states, and check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. It's actually one of the same loan providers that can do cars. They also do solar at the same time. No money down, totally financed. Nice. Can you get away from electricity from companies just with plain? Can you get away from electricity from companies with just plain solar? Yeah, depending on how many kilowatts you use, you can just have a whole system and not pull anything from the utility company grid at the end of the day. And it depends on how many kilowatts you use as a person yourself. And then if you factor in the Model Y, if you're charging at least once a week, that's going to add like another 300, 400, 500 kilowatts. And I would say, I think the last thing I looked, it was like the average household a month uses like 800 to 1,000 kilowatts a month. And so adding a Model Y on top of that, if you're charging at least once a week, that could not double it, but yeah, go from 800 to another 500 on top of that. You can kind of do the math right there. Pick up on my Tesla Model Y performance Friday from Carlsbad. The delivery day is 4 days early. Nice. Red, white, and blue. Hopefully you got your financing all squared away and ready to go. And to any of the new Tesla owners, we've got a new discount code at the bottom from 3D Mats USA. Thank you to 3D Mats. They actually shipped us a Model X trunk mat. They're still waiting to get in their still waiting to get in their floor mats for the Model X, but they've got plenty of Model S Model 3 and Model Y floor mats, and I would say it's very, very good quality at the day. But check it out, the discount code, use code Dennis for $10 off to get your Tesla Model 3 or Model Y or Model S floor mats for your actual vehicle all weather. Perfect fit liners. And yeah, it seems like a lot of people like these. A lot of people, I mean, I have now, but not the interior. I've got the trunk. A lot of people like the fitment of these, and so I would check it out. Discount code down below. And then there's also other companies that we like that we've actually used. We've used a lot of their interior stuff, Jawa phone mounts as well. And also, if you just bought a Tesla Model Y or 3, we have a giveaway. We've got 2 giveaways on the channel. We might as well make this PSA now. If you go to the community page right here, we post all the giveaway announcements and the giveaway winners. Right here, we're giving away a MAGBAK wireless MagSafe phone charger for your Tesla Model 3 or Model Y. It's this one right here. I think it's probably the best, sleekest looking magnetic phone charger that is out there on the market, but we're giving one away on this video. You can check it out and how to join. And on top of that, if you're in the SoCal area or willing to travel to the SoCal area, we partner with OC Tint Solutions to give away free 3M ceramic tint for your Tesla. It could be a Model 3, a Model Y, a Model S, or a Model X. It's 3M ceramic tint. How to enter in this video right here. Of course, you must be willing to travel to Anaheim, California, and definitely check out OC Tint Solutions if you're interested in tinting your vehicle. Jason, the owner, has actually tinted 3 of my previous Teslas, Model Y, the Model S, and now the Model X, and he also did PPF, paint protection film, on the Model X, and really, really great work. He kind of specializes in Tesla, and if you don't believe me, 5 stars on Yelp at 413 reviews. So definitely check them out. You can submit an inquiry on their website, and if you do, just say Dennis YouTube sent me, and he'll hook it up with a deal for you. But if you're just joining in, welcome. Troy Teslaik is now, he just released his production estimates, and he's predicting almost 20,000 production units less out of Giga Texas Austin. He was predicting 62,000 units just a while ago, 62.6, and now he's predicting 45.4 thousand units. So this could be why your EDD is getting pushed. This could be why you now have an estimated delivery date of April, May, June. But we really don't know at the end of the day. Where are we at? Would you recommend using an L630 outlet? Do you know which website has them? Actually, I have no idea what that is, actually. Red, white, and blue, when do you place your order? When is the solar panel Tesla uses, if they're own? Any specs on it? I actually have no idea. I'm pretty early in the, well, I guess not that early, but I'm not really focusing on the panel technology at this point because it seems like it's all like 400 watt up, but I have no idea on the Tesla solar panels. What about used Tesla cars? Is it a good option? Yeah, sure. Why not? If you can get the right price. It's all about the price. It's for the 2023 Model Y long range. You have no idea on the charging. Congratulations, the staff at the Carlsbad location is better than La Jolla. Interesting. What about what interest rates? Yeah, night and day difference. Yeah, Paul, welcome back to the channel. Welcome in. Thanks for coming in. What floor mats, front mats, etc. do you recommend for the Model Y? Don't want to spend too much. Well, I would say check out 3D Mats USA. Check out their option. But really, for me, I've tried a lot of them, and I really don't care as long as it fits. Fitment is probably the better thing to me. But as long as all weather floor mats are going to get beat up anyways, so you really can't go wrong with any of them. Like this one Model 3, like $10 off. Use promo code Dennis. Like, what other options are there? There's Tesloid, I think, is like 150. You could probably get away. I think the cheapest ones are like $100 maybe on Amazon, 120, but then that could just be some really off-brand Chinese company. At least 3D floor mats probably does some sort of quality check on it, and so I'd rather have that versus like just any of them, and taking the risk, because you're essentially at the end of the day, you're just saving yourself time versus experimenting with an off-brand one. Should I buy a second Model 3 Model Y with $15,000 credit or save up to buy Model X? Is the Model X worth 2x the price of the Model 3 and the Model Y? Where'd you get the $15,000 credit? That's my question. How'd you get that $15,000 question? We had other reasons on why we wanted to buy the Model X, on top of also it being the last Tesla and kind of checking it off the bucket list because I have car ADD. But yeah, is it worth 2x price? That's a good question. If you absolutely need the 7-seater third row or 6-seater third row, then I could see it being worth it. But I don't know. That's wild. I pay 3.5 cents a kilowatt in Washington State. Yeah, that's 3.5 cents. That is nice. Like, I wish I could pay 3.5 cents because that really, really makes sense. Like filling up your, like, let's say you're filling up a Model 3 or a Model Y at 3.5 cents a kilowatt. I don't even know, 0.035 times a 70 kilowatt battery, $2.50 to fill up your Tesla vehicle that can go 200 miles, 300 miles. That's good. That's good. Cannot deny that. California expenses. Yeah. CE user, as you definitely know, we pay the weather tax, right? But not right now. It seems like it's raining a lot more than usual. 3D Max spiders in my 2020 Model S long range are the fantastic. Only brand I use. Yes. Yeah, thanks for coming in, RO Goody and ROG Goody or RO Goody, and dropping that feedback for everybody else. Yeah, 3D Max company seems to be a good quality company, and I've got the floor mats downstairs, and we're going to put it in the Model S. But from the first look of them, they look really good quality. Elon Musk moved out of California. Yeah. Need financing options and what insurance recommendations? Thanks. Well, Salim, thanks for coming in and asking that. We've got plenty of videos on the channel. You can definitely check them out. Just check out the channel. But if you don't want to do that and scour through all the videos, there is a Patreon link down below in the description and or a YouTube join link where you can join and support the channel there. Some of those different levels, you actually get a link to my buying guide. which has links to all the best credit unions, financing options, best interest rates, and all that. And on top of that, insurance options as well that I would recommend to you. So definitely check it out if you're interested, and everybody else, check it out if you want to support the channel. Will the Cybertruck fit inside a standard home garage? I don't think so, because that thing is massive. I mean, the better question is, does a Ford Raptor fit in your car standard garage right now? If it does, then a Cybertruck will. If it doesn't, then it definitely will not. Got mine from Amazon. Yeah, exactly. Model S and X are luxury vehicles. Bragging rights. Yeah, I guess so. If you buy used Tesla from Tesla website, they give you 1 year free extended warranty, acceleration boost, and FSD. It kind of varies depending on the vehicle, but some of them they'll try to enhance the value by adding on those options. What do you think about buying used Tesla at these prices? Thanks. Depends on what price you actually get it. I always try and buy a little bit above wholesale value at the end of the day. All right, we got one last topic. We're gonna do a general topic about our. I guess a lot of people ask about this question a lot. Well, for sure they do. Just about like financing, how to get approved for a Tesla. And so, of course, feel free to ask whatever questions you want in the chat, because it's definitely it's a confusing topic, I would say, and it's definitely getting harder to do this as well. But welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today, in this next topic, we're going to talk about how to get approved for a Tesla auto loan, or really just how to get approved for any auto loan. I'll give you my feedback on for new car buyers or new Tesla buyers, and what to do to if you are planning in the next month to buy a Tesla, or next 3 to 6 months, some tips that you can actually do. And of course, we've got a tweet as well from Car Sales Guy, not Car Dealership Guy, Car Sales Guy, on the tips that they have on what to do when you're buying a vehicle. But I'll also give you my feedback, but we'll definitely get into it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best financing rate. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. All right, so let us take a look at this. So shout out to Car Sales Guy. Creditworthiness plays a massive factor in your ability to buy a new or used car. So what do dealers and lenders look for? Here are the do's and don'ts of credit. So low credit utilization, your revolving balances. So of course that means like don't use your credit cards as much, don't max them out. And or if you have a good amount of credit cards, make sure your credit utilization is very, very low. So if you've got $1,000 on your credit cards, make sure your credit card limits are like $20,000, $30,000, and you're only using a small portion of it. If you have $1,000 of balance and you're using $1,000 of your credit limit, then it's not necessarily a good look for auto loan companies, because when they hit your credit, they are not going to like to seeing that you max out all your ability. Long-term accounts, that makes sense, because it's just basically saying that you have credit cards and or other loans and you keep them for long times, you don't close them. On-time payments, that should be self-explanatory, but basically do not be late longer than 30 days. And if you are later than 30 days, ask those companies, those credit card companies, see if they can give you some sort of, I guess, like leeway, apologize to them and see if they can take it off or whatever. But your experience will be very closed or being traded in auto loan or lease. So basically saying like if you are buying a car, try and sell a car or trade into them so that they can see a 1-to-1 ratio. Like, and instead of acquiring a second car from that, they don't like that much liability out there at the end of it. Minimal inquiries. We talk about this a lot on channel, but that's just basically don't try and shop for a vehicle 3 months at a time. So that's why we do say, you really shouldn't start your application process for your loan financing until you actually get your VIN. But with a lot of things moving and a lot of moving parts, you should try and start like a week to 2 weeks out from your estimated delivery date, because auto loan approvals only last for 30 days at the end of the day, or 30 to 60 days for some banks. And so you really shouldn't try to keep hitting it or doing a hard inquiry all the time. But if you do hard inquiries, and as long as you apply to multiple places within 1 to 2 weeks, you should be perfectly fine at the end of the day. But anything more than that, or any Anything longer than that, that's where you got to be a little bit worried about. And then low debt versus income. That should be self-explanatory as well. Banks don't want to see a lot of debt and they want to see a lot of income at the end of the day. That's the case of the don'ts. It's basically the opposite. Don't max out your credit cards. That makes sense. Numerous inquiries, right? Of course, that makes sense because that shows that you can't get approved at one place, so you're trying to go to another place. So that just makes banks a little bit uneasy. Multiple new accounts, yeah, of course, that's not a good sign either when you're trying to open up a lot of different credit lines and all that stuff. Multiple open autos, that's just more risk to them. They don't like seeing that as well. And then short credit history. New credit cards, new auto loans, of course, that's kind of all in the same of everything else. Late payments, of course, that is the biggest no. Do not be late no matter what. Bankruptcies, collections, charge-ups, and then debt 2x the annual income. Yeah, that certainly is a big no. But shout out to car sales guys for putting this and wrapping this all up in a tweet. If you are a first-time auto loan buyer, a first-time Tesla owned buyer, these are my tips for you. The first thing is, unfortunately, most likely you will have to go through Tesla financing and you will have to use Tesla financing to get the 5.59%. I mean, there is still a light at the end of the tunnel. We'll talk about that, what to do after that. But because Tesla financing is what's called a captive arm or captive lending, even though they kind of pawn you off to Wells Fargo, Chase, or Bank of America, they have the best relationship with those banks. And so they'll want to try and get you approved for your deal. And so you might have to go with 5.59%, but I mean, there's still light at the end of the tunnel. I would still take a shot because your credit's going to get hit anyways when you do Tesla financing. I would still take a shot at credit unions to try and get a lower rate. If you don't know where to start, there's plenty of videos on the channel that we talk about at least once a month with the best credit unions that are out there. And on top of that, there's a Patreon link down below and also a YouTube join button where you can get access to my list of credit unions that all have rates lower than this 5.59%. But even if you have to go with Tesla financing, even if all the credit unions reject you at the end of the day, don't worry, because as long as you get the Tesla financing loan, you pay 6 months. It has to be 6 months of payments after that. That shows to the credits that you can actually pay this vehicle. That will bolster your credit. And then what you can do is a refinance after that. Refinance to one of the credit unions that have lower rates out there. And then hopefully you can get a rate that's 3.5, 3.99, 4.5%, and save a little bit of money if you keep this loan for the rest of the term. And on the other flip side of that is Tesla is going to require you to at least put some sort of down payment. I think the lowest I've seen is $1,000, but I don't know how accurate that was. Most likely it's going to be $3,000, $4,000, maybe even $5,000. And if you're a first-time buyer, if you're a first-time owner for a Tesla first-time auto loan purchaser, you're going to have to put 10 to 20, maybe even 30% down right off the get-go, because that's kind of, you're going to have to prove that to Tesla and to the banks that you can, purchase the vehicle. And the reason why is because they don't want what's happened to be an upside down process or upside down on the loan. They want you to make sure that you can purchase the vehicle. They want to make sure that you can own the vehicle. And worst case scenario, like if you can't, pay the vehicle and they have to repo the vehicle, they want to make sure that they're okay, they're set, and that they'll be able to sell your vehicle or wholesale your vehicle without losing too much money at the end of the day. So those are my tips, or actually I guess I'm setting the expectation for you. And we're starting to see that. Here's a comment I got earlier today. You can see right here from Weston Daniel. So thank you, Weston, for being out there and putting yourself out there and putting yourself out there and putting this comment. They basically said, I canceled. Quote, Tesla Financial wanted $20,000 down on a Model Y with an 820 credit score. Of course, that's only a snippet of the situation. We don't know what more could be there, more divulge in that, but banks are certainly starting to tighten up. And they don't like the risk that Tesla has with dropping the price of the vehicles $13,000 overnight. So there could be more to this that we're not actually seeing, but $20,000 is certainly a lot higher. I think that's what, 40% down on a Tesla Model Y. That could be a $50,000 car, or $60,000 out the door. So that could be 30% down. But, I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to start to see a lot more than that. And if you're a first time auto loan, I mean, that could be the missing key to this. Like, yes, they could have an 820 credit score, but they probably could have never financed an auto loan before. And that first auto loan is always going to be a doozy. And so, just be aware that if you've never purchased an auto loan before, expect the worst. And so the worst could be $20,000 down. But the one thing is, you can push back with Tesla financing. Like, if they say, hey, we want $20,000 down, this is the term, this is the rate, you can ask Tesla financing to what's called rehash your deal, relook at it, talk to banks again, and see like, hey, like I can only do $15,000 down or $10,000 down, and see what they come back with. But even if they say they want $20,000 down, I would still take a shot with any of the other credit unions. If you're buying a car in the next 30 to 60 days, my tips are really just follow all of the car sales guys tips. Make sure your credit cards are as low as possible 30 days before you actually do some sort of credit hit. Make sure you've got no hard inquiries or no high debt or late payments or anything like that, because you want to make sure your credit looks as clean as a whistle as possible. I can tell you from experience, when I purchased the Model X, they asked for everything under the sun. They wanted income statements, they wanted other statements, because banks are starting to tighten up. And on top of that, once you get to past like $80, $90, $100,000, banks get a little bit more antsier than usual. So they want to make sure that before they give you this loan, that you can actually pay for it at the end of the day. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what the temperature out there is down below in the comments. Are you getting a crazy down payment request as well, or are you getting pretty much easily financing? We're going to jump into the live stream comments, but before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down in the description, the Patreon link if you want to support the channel. So definitely check it out if you're interested. If you're just joining in, welcome. Troy Teslike is now predicting 20,000 units less from Giga Austin, the Giga Austin factoring for Model Y. They were predicting 62,000 or 63,000 units, and now predicting 45,000 units. So almost $20,000 less. Moses, hello Des. I just want to thank you for mentioning discount on Model Y. Will happen that will price drop under 55K back in late December of 2022? I don't think so at this point. I think Model Y will hold unless they lose the $7,500 federal tax credit. What's with the Q4 bump up to go Model Ys? What's for the Q4 bump up go Model Ys? Not sure. Model 3 shipping with radar yet? No, unfortunately, I don't think so. Got the Model Y order on 1/14 and delivered on 2/14. Just want to mention this. Nice. Congrats, Moses. Do you think the refresh Model Y and Model 3 will be visually significant? No, I think it'll go from like the old Model S and X to what it is now. So just slight enhancements. What do you think, guys, will be better? Model 3 standard range or Model Y long range? Of course, Model Y long range. $8,000 more if I switch to 7 seats. Ugh, yeah, not sure if I would do that. But I mean, essentially tax credit cancels all that out, right? If you qualify and if we believe that tax credit is disappearing. What do you guys think is better? Model 3 standard? What? $20,000 down? Yeah, definitely crazy. At $20,000, might need to get a cosigner with good credit history. Yeah, 100%. Maybe banks do not want to finance Teslas, period. $20,000 with an 800 credit score. We already know some insurance companies like Geico has a higher premium versus other insurance companies. Yeah, and I think also I've heard Progressive is possibly denying people with insurance for Tesla, but it could be state by state, case by case. But thanks for watching this video, guys. Please hit that like if you enjoy it. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming in. Also hitting the like button. Shout out to all of you that have always come in every single day and supported and come in. And hopefully everybody gets there. I hope everybody gets their Teslas by the end of the month, and the Tesla tax credit $7,500 goes for the next 6 months, and we all save a bunch of money on our taxes. But definitely check out the links down below the channel and the description if you want to support. Check out the giveaways some of them are ending this Friday. And I will see you guys all tomorrow, same time, 5:15, 5:30. And thank you, and have a great evening.